Kelly, also known as Jelly Cosplay. You can find me at Jelly Cosplay on Facebook or Jelly Booger at Twitter and Instagram. So I have been cosplaying since 2001 Anime North. That was my very first convention. I started going to my school's anime club and I got really invested into the anime culture. And when I was told that there was an anime convention going on, I got really excited. But then I went thinking that I couldn't get into the convention unless I cosplayed. So I made my first cosplay at my very first convention, which was 2001 Anime North. So currently my favorite character to cosplay is my no flutter version of Sailor Venus. That's mostly because I grew up watching Sailor Moon. I've always looked up to her. She's one of my favorite Girl Scouts and I just really love the design. So up to date, it's been my most fun and most comfortable costume to wear. So when I cosplay, I don't usually feel like I am that character, but I just enjoy being represented as that character. So I won't roleplay necessarily, pretend and act like that character. Through cosplaying, I get to meet other people who are interested in the same fandom. So that's usually why I cosplay so seriously. Hat is for my Tentacruel cosplay. So I love jellyfishes, so that's why I did Tentacruel. The hat is made with a base of wire for the shape, and then it was paper mache. And for the raised details, it's just a layer of craft foam that was glued on top and then it was just painted. On the inside, nothing special. There's just a simple hat from the dollar store that was glued in so that the hat can sit on top of your head and it won't slide off. So these axes, it was actually really simple. So this whole thing costed maybe $4 per axe. Pretty straightforward. This was just pink insulation foam and the detail, all the raised details were all craft foam. So everything was basically just hot glued together. This is extremely light, it's really flexible. Only thing I'd say is that it's a little bit fragile, so don't actually go throwing it at people or hitting anyone with it. But it was really simple. This whole thing took me maybe 5 hours to make. Yep, so I usually use, for something where it's embedded, cut in something like this, I usually just use an X-Acto knife. Sometimes if your knife is not sharp enough, then you get little pulled pieces of foam. So when possible, I try to stick with just using regular scissors and I just cut it out. The axes are just painted with cheap dollar store acrylic paint, nothing special. So usually I start off with a black base so that everything shows up plain first and you make sure that you cover up all the different colored craft foam that you used. And then I just used a dry brush technique with a cheap silver paint to go over the edges and that's it. So my process for creating a cosplay, I usually start off with, once I finally decide who it is that I want to cosplay, I usually break down the costume in terms of what needs to be purchased. So from fabric to armor materials, if there's armor pieces on it, wigs, shoes, accessories, props. I actually tend to do a 3-view drawing or a sketch of the character from front, side, and back views. And for example, if it's something that has multiple layers on it, I usually start off with what needs to be built first in terms of parts like sewing parts that go directly on your body, and then different layers of armor pieces that go on top of those pieces of fabric, as well as how those pieces would be attached to the costumes that I would stay on. So if I had to describe cosplay in one word, that word would be challenging. Only because I feel like even though I've been cosplaying for a very long time, every new costume I make, there's always a new challenge to go about doing it, and I always learn something new. I feel like once cosplay is no longer challenging to me, I might not be as interested in it as I am now, so I'm hoping it stays the way that it is. Hi, I'm Jelly Cosplay, and I am the wildcard of Masters of Cosplay. You can follow my progress at mastersofcosplay.com.